had an ad up the other day, which is talking about how to boost testosterone, boost your energy and start feeling a lot better. And then someone commented, it's like, don't worry about any of this crap. Just go through and get SARMS and peptides and it'll make everything better for you. And I thought that's a really interesting thing to say. So let's go through and explore that. And let's take a look at whether taking peptides and SARMS can actually boost your testosterone. Now, first of all, what is a peptide? A peptide is a string of amino acids, okay? But what this is commonly referring to is like when people talk about taking peptides for bodybuilding, for getting jacked, shredded, all that sort of stuff, is they're commonly referring to things like CJC, 1295, GHRP6, GHRP2, Ephemeral, all that sort of stuff. Things which lead to an increase in growth hormone or have an action which is very similar to that of growth hormone, okay? In terms of what's a SARM? A SARM is a select androgen, excuse my terrible writing, receptor modulator. And what these do is these act like testosterone. They kind of like mimic testosterone in a lot of ways, and it binds to the same receptor as testosterone. In terms of why a SARM's developed and like how they're different, they're meant to have less side effects than testosterone, but they're pretty much the same thing, okay? So, can these things boost testosterone levels and can they boost energy? Well, first of all, when we're looking at why is there a low level of testosterone, we're going to first of all understand how testosterone works within the body. So I'm going to draw here a very accurate diagram of the brain and then a very accurate diagram of your balls, okay? I love my job. I get to draw cocks and get paid for it. So what we have here is we have the brain. Within the brain, there are two key areas. We have the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. And what these things do is these create the production of two hormones, or two what we call gonadotropins, things which stimulate the production of testosterone. We have luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. What these do is these go down to your nuts and then tell them to produce more testosterone. Okay? This is how it works. Now, with these things, what can actually go wrong is whenever we have an increase in stress and we have an increase in cortisol, which is like the catabolic hormone, what happens is we then get a reduction in testosterone and this thing starts to go down a little bit. Now, in terms of can we actually boost testosterone using things that stimulate growth hormone or SARMs? No, they actually won't, because they're totally different things. CJC, GHRP6, Ephemeral, all those sorts of things, they increase growth hormone, which is a totally different hormone. Growth hormone's here, testosterone's here. They're totally different, so it's not going to boost your levels of testosterone. SARMs won't actually boost your level of testosterone, and I'll tell you why they won't. Because if I just get rid of some of this confusing writing over here, what actually happens is whenever you take a SARM, the SARM goes and it has what's called like a negative feedback loop, and it reduces your production of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, which in turn reduces the amount of testosterone which you're going to produce. So SARMs will actually reduce your levels of testosterone. Yes, you may be able to make more gains because you're stimulating the receptor, but it will actually reduce your levels of testosterone. So then it comes, so it's pretty clear from those two things that SARMs and peptides just simply will not improve your levels of testosterone. Let's go through and let's look at what actually will. So if we come back up to here, right? And we look at like what are the factors which actually lead to the production or the reduction of testosterone. The key thing here is stress. Whenever we have an increase in cortisol, we have a subsequent reduction in testosterone. These are what we call inversely proportionate. Cortisol goes up, testosterone generally goes down, and vice versa. So what we need to do every single time is we need to obey the hierarchy of health. This is where we need to look at our nervous system, our digestion, our hormones, our immune system, and then the rest of the stuff after. Now, if you haven't seen the hierarchy of health, I'm not going to go over that in this video because it takes ages. Click the link below. I'm going to give you access to it. I'll hook you up with that. Just click the link below. It takes about 14 minutes. It runs you through absolutely everything you need to know when it comes to the hierarchy of health. Okay? So, in order to boost testosterone, the big key thing, the key takeaway out of this is to improve the nervous system, make sure that our stress and our cortisol is much better. Now, going back right up to the top, can CJC and GHRP6 and can SARMs improve our energy levels? Well, yeah, they can transiently. Much the same way as any drug can improve these things. Whenever we have energy levels which are not very good, good. When we want to fix them, we don't want to fix them for a day, a week, or a month, or a year. We want to fix them permanently. We want to fix them for the rest of our life. Now, whenever we take something exogenous, whenever we take a peptide, whenever we take a SARM in order to boost our levels of energy, it will happen and it will work for while we're on these things. So the big question you've got to ask yourself is, do I really want to be taking these substances for the rest of my life? Now, if you do, then great, go for it, do it. I mean, make sure that you have your doctor's advice and your doctor's blessing before you do it and stay safe. But if that's what you want to do, cool. But most guys don't want to do that. Most guys don't want to be attached to a drug for the rest of their life just to feel normal. And I think that's pretty rational too. So what we need to do is we need to look at the root cause. Why are our energy levels lower? And what it commonly comes down to is this, as I was talking about before, the hierarchy of health. Generally, we're stressed, we're not sleeping well, our digestion isn't terribly good, our hormones aren't endogenously good, like inside the way our body's making them, they're not good. We don't have a great immune system, or potentially we're not eating or training well for us. So what we need to do is let's look on the inside first. Yes, you can definitely boost your energy levels transiently, very, very short term, while you're taking peptides and SARMs, but in terms of long term, forget about it. It's not going to work for you. In fact, it may actually end up making you worse off because of this negative feedback loop if you're taking SARMs. All right. So what I'd highly recommend you guys do is, instead of looking at trying to find a Band-Aid fix, instead of trying to rely on something external, work on your internal health, because it always goes better. If you have any questions on this at all, just let me know. Always follow the hierarchy of health. It's going to be a game changer. Click the link below if you want access to that. Let me know if I can do anything to help you.
I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got something out of it and you want to learn more, click the link below or type in High Performance Conversations with James Cant and you'll be able to check out all the podcasts that we've done. We cover a stack of different topics, everything from getting your mojo back, overcoming anxiety, self-doubt, self-esteem, and learning from some of the industries and some of the world's top performers in both business and in health. Look forward to having you on there.